قسمت دوم برنامه ایرانیان فاینانشل تایمز رو مشاهده می‌کنید. این قسمت هست رمز موفقیت با کارشناس موفق. در این هفته مهمان عزیزی رو داریم که ایشون امریکایی هستن، فارسی صحبت نمی‌کنن، از کسایی که انگلیسی خوب صحبت نمی‌کنن از اینجا من پوزش می‌طلبم، ولی جواب سوالی که بیننده های ما از ما کرده بودن و فقط آقای لستر تونستن به ما جواب بدن. آقای کنت لستر حسابدار قسم خورده ایالت کالیفرنیا هستند که از سال 1972 مشغول به کار هستند. تخصص ایشون انجام امور مالیاتی فردی و یا شرکت ها هستش. در ضمن ایشون در تشکیل شرکت ها از قبیل LLC، پارتنرشیپ، کورپوریشن های تایپ C و تایپ S میتونن به شما کمک بکنن. شرکت ایشون در شهر آکوادولسه هستش با شماره تلفن 661 268 7600 661 268 7600. بیننده های عزیز ما از ما سوال کرده بودن کسایی که مقیم امریکا هستن و پولهای خودشون رو جاهای دیگه سرمایه گذاری کردن و بهره میگیرن، این بهره ها رو چگونه از نظر تکسی باید بسشون اقدام بکنن. آقای لستر رو من دارم، فقط همینقدر بگم که سوال ها به انگلیسی خواهد بود، ما وقت نداریم که من بتونم ترجمه کنم. از اونهایی که متوجه نمیشن پوزش میطلبم. Mr. Lester, you're on the air.
Very good.
How are you today?
Very good, thank you.
Thank you. We have such little time and we have way too many questions. I'm going to start with the most important question that a lot of our viewers asked us. That was about money that is invested out of U.S. for Iranian citizens of United States. A lot of Iranian citizens have invested their money in foreign countries and they're earning interest on that. They want to know how they can report their taxes. How is it done? Is it based on the percentage of the income or their tax bracket? And how can they avoid any problems in the future? If you can answer the whole thing at once for me.
Bring it once, huh?
Well, we have such limited time. I'm so sorry.
Well, here's the problem when you talk about investments.
Yes.
The new Hire Act for reporting of investments, so to speak, really doesn't apply until filing 2011 tax returns. And there's not enough regulations issued at the moment to really define what the obligation is. But if Iranians or anybody else, Middle East or any other country, is a U.S. citizen or a U.S. resident, permanent resident, then they are required to report any income that they earn in foreign activities on their U.S. tax return. Now, if they have bank accounts or credit cards or mutual funds or retirement plans, life insurance policies, or any securities or brokerage accounts, there's a form that they reported on. It's called the Foreign Bank Account Report. That is separate from reporting something as simple as interest income or dividend income from foreign business activities. That particular report is filed in June of the year following their calendar year of its closing. In other words, if we're talking about 2010, the foreign bank account report would be filed as a separate item from their personal income tax return by June 30 of 2011. Okay? But the new Hire Act of foreign reporting requirements, that is an attachment to the personal income tax return. And it lists quite a bit of detail on the tax return as a separate schedule altogether. Even though they report interest income earned or dividend income or capital gains on the respective schedule, Schedule B, Schedule C, or Schedule E. That includes any activities in partnerships or trusts or subchapter S corporations or dividends from foreign corporations. It's all a part of the regular Form 1040.
Yes.
But we're assuming that they are U.S. citizens or permanent residents seeking citizenship.
Okay. Thank you. And now, as far as their taxes, they just pay their taxes based on their tax bracket that they're in, correct?
Correct.
Correct. Thank you very much. Now, the other question that we had was about IRAs and Roth IRAs. Now, how much time people have to open Roth IRA or IRA account before the year ends? Is it before the year, or they still have a little bit of time at the beginning of the next year as well?
They have a little bit of time, but the actual payment or contribution into either plan is due with the filing of their return in 2011, which is this year. The due date's April 18th,
Yes.
2011.
Okay.
Always safer to have the plan formed prior to year end.
Got you. Okay. Now, as far as IRAs and Roth IRAs, as tax purposes, which one is most recommended, is better as far as you know, or you would recommend?
It really all depends on your tax brackets and what you really expect to accomplish in retirement. Roth IRA, the contributions are not taxed when you start to withdraw from them. And IRAs are taxed as early as age 59 and a half when you start drawing from them, and you must start drawing by the time you reach 72. As far as investment return, it really makes no difference.
It doesn't.
It's just a matter of what is your tax bracket going to be when you retire, which is generally impossible to determine.
So if you're on a higher tax bracket, which one is recommended?
Roth, probably.
Roth IRA. Okay. So for a poor person like me, just a regular IRA is fine.
Right. You get the deduction in the year of your contribution, and that tends to save a little bit of money. But the difference, if you really get into it, the mathematical calculations late in life on an IRA versus a Roth, the Roth would probably be better. The IRA tax break is not going to amount to that much money in the form of tax savings as just not paying any tax on your Roth, not paying any tax on your Roth contribution when you start to retire.
I see. Okay. Any recommendation, since we're coming to the end of the year, for our viewers about their taxes, Mr. Lester?
Yeah, if you're waiting till now to determine what you're going to plan for the end of the year, you're 11 months late. It is very careless to presume that you can do anything over the next 2 weeks to save any huge amount of tax dollars. You really have to get into your own particular situation. You might want to defer income, which is pushing it actually into the next year. But you have to be very, very careful, because if you're in possession of that income in the form of a check, you would be construed as having constructive receipt, and deferring it simply by not depositing it into a bank account doesn't work.
Oh, okay. That's a good
You
point.
might want to accelerate some itemized deductions, but then again, that depends upon your tax bracket. Too many itemized deductions in certain categories could generate an alternative minimum tax. It gets extremely complicated to determine what you should do 2 weeks before the year ends. Extremely complicated, and it's not wise to wait that long. Most tax plans should be accomplished at least by the end of the third quarter of of any calendar year.
Okay. Very well. Thank you very much. Thanks for your time. May we call you again if any question rises?
Certainly. Just let me know ahead of time so that I'll be here when you do call.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
We will. Thank you very much. Have a good night and Merry Christmas to you.
Thank you.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
قسمت سوم برنامه به زودی شروع خواهد شد. ایشون آقای کنت لستر بودند. جناب کنت لستر حسابدار قسم خورده. با شماره تلفنی که روی صفحه تلویزیون می‌بینین حتما تماس بگیرید. اگر سوالی درباره حقوق مالیاتیتون، قانون‌های مالیاتی و جوری که قرار مالیات رو فایل بکنین، چون چیزی تا آخر سال نداریم و بهتره هر چه زودتر با یه مشاور مبرز تماس بگیرید. قسمت سوم به زودی شروع خواهد شد. با ما باشید.